What is the cheapest thing you've ever seen someone do? My grandmother, as she didn't own a computer, had to mail in all her bill payments. One month she didn't get her water bill, or it was delivered to someone else by accident. Whatever the cause, her next bill was for both that month and the previous month and included a late fee that was less than the cost of a stamp. For the rest of her life she skipped the bill 1 month, and then paid both the next, because she saved a few cents by using just one stamp instead of two. This was a woman who had somewhere around $1 million in the bank when she died. My grandfather had a firmly held belief that any drink served in a restaurant should cost no more than 10 cents per glass. So, if the restaurant charged $1.50 for a sweet tea with free refills, he would sit there until he drank at least 15 glasses. Nobody else could leave until he was done. Saw a guy take money from the tip jar to pay for a muffin like it was nothing. Poor cashier was in shock, I guess, because she didn't say anything. And this was from a cafeteria in an office building. Guy who did this was wearing an expensive suit. This would piss me off to no end. When I worked at a coffee shop, the tip jar isn't a mandatory tip, it was exactly only for us, when we went above and beyond for a customer, and they wanted us to have extra. I had people go, "Oh, I am short?" and just rummage through the jar for $2. I had to stop them more than once, and tell them, it isn't a free goodies jar for you, to buy that extra donut you can't. Going down to McDonald's for a thingy of sugar for their coffee, because they ran out of sugar. Dad was really broke that week. I feel you. Whenever my mom goes to the grocery store she gets a couple of the plastic forks from the area where people eat their food. We'll use those forks for weeks. I remember, one time I was cleaning the dishes, and realized I poor, because had only 3 eating utensils, and 2 of them were plastic. When I delivered pizza, there was a guy who ordered from us 2/3 times a week, and the conversations would go like this: "Customer, how much is that?" Me, $18.35 total. Customer, okay, tell the driver I'm paying with a $20 bill, and I want $1.65 back. Never tipped, never smiled, never said thank you. One Friday night his order was the last in a 5/6 order run, and the previous customers had taken all my coins and loose change. I ended up shorting him a dime and apologized. By the time I get back to the store, my boss is on the phone trying to calm him down because, to quote, I refuse to give him his change. My mom and I once went to the cinema with a new friend of hers. As we were leaving, the friend found $5 under one of the seats, and then made us stay back in the empty cinema while she checked every row for any more fallen cash. My grandma would take my brother and sister to a restaurant, and instead of buying us milk, she'd make us drink the tiny creamers. My parents are both very cheap, but my dad is especially not generous. One summer day, when I was maybe 13 years old, my dad finally agreed to take me to get my eyes examined. To his surprise, I did need glasses. He insisted I wouldn't. He reminded me that he had only agreed to get my eyes examined, not to actually buy me glasses. So if I wanted the glasses, I would need to have them be my birthday present. I really wanted to be able to read the board in school, so I agreed. My birthday is on Christmas, and I always got a combined gift. So now I had to wait 1.5 years to get my next present, and I knew it was my fault, because I chose the glasses. I understand that parents can't always pay for things, but there was something especially cheap about turning buying me glasses into an excuse to not need to get any presents a full 6 months later. I don't really talk to my dad anymore. My mom had a boyfriend that would pull the stems off of cherries before purchasing them from the grocery store, because he felt they'd weigh less without the stems, and he'd get more for the money. We used to frequent a bar/club when we were younger, because they accepted our fake IDs and sold $1 beers on Friday nights. We were buying rounds of beers, and I'll never forget one of my mates coming up to me as it was my buy, and telling me that he would like to opt out of that round, and if I could just give him the $1 instead. We used to go to dollar beer night and order all of our beers up front, so we only had to tip the bartender once. Whenever we all go out to eat as a group, my grandma's boyfriend, man friend, significant other, likes to get everyone's free lemon wedge, that typically comes with their waters, squeeze them all into his, and then add a packet of sugar, so that he doesn't have to pay for a lemonade. You'd think at that age, you'd say, fuck it, I'll splurge on a glass of lemonade. This probably doesn't count, because it was on a TV show, probably extreme couponing or something similar. But the lady reused her mouthwash, like she'd use it, then spread it back into the bottle to use again. Can't even imagine it. My dad spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in attorney's fees, to try to avoid paying less than $200/mo for child support to my mom, who was a teacher. It's the principle of the matter, the amount of money is irrelevant. The company I work for won't buy us pens. One of my friends always buys 11 bread rolls, and says it's 10. If they catch him, he can just say that he miscalculated. I was at a friend's apartment about 5 years ago for a moving-in get-together with about 10 others. Halfway through the party, I used the bathroom, and when I went to wash my hands, I noticed he had not gotten around to buying hand towels yet. Giving him some slack and understanding it was his first place, I figured I would just grab a few squares of toilet paper and simply dab my hands with that. Not a big deal, but the roll of toilet paper was empty. So I just dried my hands on my pants and let my friend know he needed to replace the roll. After I tell him, this motherfucker walks into the bathroom, grabs what he thought were the cleanest squares of USCD toilet paper from the trash can, and wraps them around the empty roll. I don't know what the hell those squares were used for, or what possessed him to do something so unsanitary and absurd, but I didn't end up staying at the party much longer to ask him why. Very easily the cheapest, stingiest, and most disgusting thing I have witnessed in my life. I was really that close to the guy who threw the party, and that basically confirmed that I wouldn't be making any attempts to further the friendship. I went for a meal with a group of about 6 friends. When it came time to divvy up the bill, one friend said he hadn't got cash on him, but if we all chipped in the cash for our share, he would put it on his card. He was also very keen to ensure we all put in a decent tip. In the UK, so tipping is common in a restaurant, but not required. Our friend went up to the bar to pay, but unfortunately for him another member of our party went to the restroom at the same time, and was surprised to notice him paying in cash. We pulled him up on this, and it turned out the stingy bastard was using our tips to cover his part of the meal. This chap has forevermore been ribbed as having short arms and deep pockets. He is trusted by no one. Thank you a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.